Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio, and today I'm doing the Our Mixed Media Moods board for March. You saw the board there at the beginning, and so the idea is to take that and have it inspire our creation. So I am going to try and do the colors, and I saw on the picture kind of had a rust effect, so I wanted to create this background that looked like maybe rusty metal. So I'm just taking a brown, it was the last of that bottle, and I think it might have been brown velvet, or it might have been a little bit darker. I'm pretty sure it's the brown velvet. And then the orange, that one's by Delta, and then the orange is by Craftsmart. And I don't know if you can hear the sirens out there and the dog's howling at it. I'll be back. So now my paint, one layer is dry. So I wanted to do kind of the peeling paint over the rust kind of effect. So I am putting on liberal coats of petroleum jelly, Vaseline, not everywhere, but more in the center, and this will keep the next couple of paint layers from permanently sticking in the center area. I'm using a crappy brush because I don't know how this is gonna, if the brush will recover from all that petroleum. But with a lot of soap, it does come out of the brush. And this is just a layer of black gesso, because I had a bottle of black gesso, so I figured I would use it. I wanted kind of a black layer, and then there was a yellow color on that mood board, so I am going to do the next layer with the yellow. I tried to let it dry, but the Vaseline area just doesn't dry, so I was going to put it on with my fingers, but I decided that was kind of a bit tedious, so I do get in here with my paintbrush here in a second because I want it to go a lot faster. And this video is a little bit longer than some, so feel free to fast forward if you want to. This has a lot of steps, and yeah, so it is almost a half an hour long. One of my longer ones, I think. So here I am getting in with the brush so we can move a little faster. So once that's as dry as I think it's gonna get, I'm just taking a baby wipe and wiping it back to the original layer. And you probably should paint a layer, wipe it off, and then put more Vaseline and paint the next layer. It would be a lot less messy, I think. This took a lot of baby wipes to, and paper towels. I used both. To get all the wet, greasy paint and Vaseline off of here. It does take a baby wipe to get the greasy texture off of the board. So once you get all your paint off, if you go over it with a baby wipe, that should make it so other things will stick. I used this technique in another project that I really like how it turned out, and I'll try to remember to put the link below for you if you're interested in it. Okay, that part literally took forever. I did crop out a bunch of that. So I've taken it off of the board I had it clipped down to. That was to keep the piece I was working on from warping with all the moisture. And I'm painting over those spots with the yellow just to hide them. And adding a little bit yellow back in where I think it needs some. So there we've got our peeling, rusty, painted piece of metal. So for this next part, I had these foil stick-on sheets that were given to me, and I wanted to do a bit of a contrasting color, and I happen to have some blue Adirondack inks, so that is what I am going to add to this one. Just try to make it a little bit blue. It stays on pretty good. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I decided I'd do a series of numbers. I could just scratch it into that foil and scratch the blue off, and then we would have the numbers. And the sheet wasn't big enough to do 6 numbers, so we're going to cut this down and just make it the 3. And then we'll do something with that spare piece. Oh yeah, and I had that metal M from Michaels hanging around that I bought a long time ago, and figured that might end up on this piece too. So here I'm just using the end of a paintbrush just to give this plain sheet some decoration. So I'm also part of a group, my year 2017, and we save things to put in our journal, and I grabbed the chopsticks because I wanted the packaging and put that in there. So I just had these wooden chopsticks that have never been used and figured I wanted a wood element, so I figured this would be as good as anything to put on this particular page, and just wanted them dark. I didn't like the lighter color, I wanted it a dark brown. Well, somewhat dark brown. So I decided my blue was too bright, or not dark enough. Still too much like tinfoil. So I'm just adding some more of the Adirondack inks. I'll add it to this one too. And decide it needs something else, so I'm going to add some brown to it. Now, I don't know how well that'll stick, but thought maybe that would blot it sufficiently, but that wasn't a very good idea. So now I decided I need another element. I'm going to kind of like stack this stuff on the page, and I wanted some of the rough side of the cardboard, so I'm just going through and pulling some of that apart so we have some more texture on our page. See what I mean by a lot of steps? Trying to decide how I want it, where it's going to be. Oh yes, and I got that image from Graphic Stock. I'm a subscriber for a year with Graphic Stock. Grabbed that image. So if you're interested in Graphic Stock, I do have another video. I'll try to put a link on that one. Tells you more about them. I'm just going to add some more of that brown. I really am almost out of that brown. I think I pull out another bottle of brown here in a second. Sorry that skipped. You didn't miss much. I think I ended up using black instead of a darker brown. Cleaning off my little M because it got stuff on it. Alright. Oh, this jumps too. Sorry about that. More elements. Those are pieces of the cardboard that I pulled apart, and I just painted them with the mustard yellow color. And then this is a piece of scrapbook paper that is from Canvas Corp. And I kind of liked the rusty license plate thing, so we're going to put that on there. Lots of layers. So now I think we're finally ready to assemble this stuff. And I'm just attaching the image with Liquitex matte medium. Trying to make sure I catch all my edges. Don't have any bubbles. I always end up with bubbles. There we go. Decided to use the Aleene's Tacky Glue for this. And I think my glue's getting a little bit dry because it's really hard to get out of the bottle. Takes both hands to squeeze it. Just to make sure it sticks on there nice and flat, I'm going to weigh it down with some of my jars. And now that that's dry, we're going to glue the chapsticks on. I'm realizing here I can't just peel and stick it or it will curve around the edges, so I weighted that down and went and put that piece of metal foil onto another strip of cardboard to stiffen it so that it wouldn't kind of wrap around everywhere. Oh yeah, and I had that spare piece of cardboard, so we're just going to stick it on here too. Why not? And I just decided I wanted fibers on there, so we're going to do that too. Weigh that down, let it dry. And I felt like I needed to put the yellow behind the M so that it would show up. It doesn't show up as well if it's over just the blue. So we're going to glue that on. Hopefully the matte medium will hold it well enough, because that's what we're going to do. And there we go. Oh yes, I decided it was wobbly too, so I put a piece of cardboard back there to keep it level. And then now we're just going in with my Neocolor 2s and just kind of shading around the edges of things. Then I broke down and pulled out my Stabilo awl. Felt like it needed to be darker, and I get a more precise line with a pencil rather than a crayon. So here I just grabbed a quote that I already had printed on some tissue paper. It says, "In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity." Now I decide I need to darken up the M a little bit. Felt like it wasn't showing up quite enough. So if you survived through the whole thing, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you're just coming to the end for the pictures, that's okay too. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit like, feel free to share, comment, and if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.